Hi, hello, how are you? Amanda, Seint artist. We're gonna do the basics with the detail brush. I like this brush. I think everybody knows I like this brush by now, but I like it especially if you're wanting to try Seint, but also getting into contouring because it can be really intimidating. So I'm gonna show you how I use the basics with the detail brush, because if you want just one brush when you're just starting out, that's great. So when you, my husband just burned. Hopefully you can hear it. When you get color matched, you send me a makeup-free picture facing a window, a couple steps back, and then I send you this huge list of colors. But there are asterisks next to the basics. And so when you're wanting to just start out and you just want the basics, which is this, your main highlight, your brightening highlight, contour, and a blush, I will send you more in the recommendation. That's a place for you to reference when you're ready to build or just go all out for it. So you're gonna get this, you're gonna pick whatever brush you want, and the detail brush is so good for getting into those areas where you just wanna be a little more precise. I like to be a little more precise. I'm not a messy applier. I like things not messy. And not my house. I mean, I have a hat on a chair over here. Anyways, but we're gonna get started. I don't have any corrector on. I am gonna take my setting spray, Urban Decay De-Slick, and I'm gonna spray my face, and that's gonna prep. So we spray it. I don't know, it's a soft mist, but I squint my eyes like it's gonna like hose me. And then I'm just gonna press this in where I get extra oily, which is right here on my forehead, up my cheeks, and then all right here. Okay. My main highlight at this time is Hazel, and this color for me has actually been doing really well over all of my stuff. And then I have Sunlit, which is an extra corrector for the darkness under my eyes. And then I've got Indigo. I'm tan, I'm loving it, and so I'm using Indigo. It's a scary color, and I'm going to show you how it's not so scary. It's also really nice because it is a touch warmer than cool. It's still cool toned, but you don't need bronzer with it. And then I'm using Madrid because it doesn't pull my redness through if I'm just doing the basics. Everything has a purpose though, because this Sunlit right here has a yellow undertone to work with those under eyes. All right, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna go in with the big end, and we are gonna lightly stamp in to Hazel, my main highlight. I always apply when I have the most on my brush the first time to the lower part of my face right here. And this is just going to even out my skin. And then once I come up into where my large pores are, look at how it just erases the stuff. But as I get into the areas where I have more texture, smile lines, the crease of my nose, my pores, and then I also have that scarring and hyperpigmentation, I start stippling. It presses it in down here. I don't have too much texture, and I just bring this down because my neck just doesn't get the sun, and it's lighter than my face. So I do pull it down so I don't have that orange line. I'm gonna grab a little bit, and I'm gonna tap into Hazel and Sunlit together. And it's just, the Sunlit is gonna lighten my Hazel, and I'm able to pull it down and give it a nice gradual. I also have a weird neck breakout. I don't understand it, but look at how pretty. And I'm just taking whatever's left on my brush and canceling the redness on my nose. I went on vacation, so obviously I come back with a red nose. I don't get it. So we're going in again to Hazel. You stamp in. You don't want to have clumping together of your bristles. That's way too much makeup. Why do husbands cook everything, clean everything so that the entire state can hear them? Like, okay, you're making pancakes. You put your dish in the dishwasher. Everyone knows. They'll send you their condolences. Poor thing. Anyway. We're going in with that Hazel, and I'm going to stipple this over the redness. Look at that. It's so good. Less is more. This is super pigmented. 80% pigmentation versus what you're currently using in a bottle that's 18%. And so you need very little product, just evening out with a light touch because there's really not much left on the brush. I'm also going to move it up and under my eyes here for extra coverage because you don't want a lot. So I'm just taking what's left on my brush, and I'm also moving what's right here on my cheek up and under. Look at that. From here to here, it's just kind of evened out. And that's what we're gonna add, what we need. And then we're gonna bring that up right under the eyes, canceling out that darkness. I've got some serious darkness. A lot of it might be mascara, but also I've been a lean, mean painting machine, and I don't like getting interrupted when I'm painting. It burns my biscuit. It really just kind of just trips my trigger, and I'm just done. So I paint when everybody in my house goes to sleep. So last night was the first time in 2 nights that I got a full night of sleep. It caught up to me last night. I don't know what it was. Perimenopause, tiredness, dehydrate, I don't know, but I feel like I had a panic attack without the panic, but all the body reaction, like sweating, shaking, dizzy, kind of discombobulated. It was weird. So I hurried up and made myself a mac and cheese and water, and I felt better. Anyways, I don't know what's wrong with me. Probably staying up until 2:30 in the morning painting. Anyways, okay, I'm tapping in a little bit into Sunlit. It's not sticking together, and I'm gonna go right on this darkness here. So when you're putting in a light color, like your brightening, it's a couple shades lighter than your skin tone, and when you go right into that trough, you're gonna blend it down like this. Lightness pulls out, whereas darkness pulls in. It's like wearing white. We know how we feel when we wear white and somebody takes a picture of us, or wears black, and then you're like, take whatever picture you want. I look great in black. I look thin. Anyways, think of it that way. That's what brightening is. It's going to take that trough and kind of give the illusion that it's lifted out and help camouflage it. Same thing here, but the yellow undertone in Sunlit also cancels the darkness and helps that Athens. But I use just the little, I mean, I'm barely touching, and I'm just adding the little bit of lightness right there, and it's just so good. All right, I'm gonna go in on this big end, and I'm gonna tap into Indigo, and I'm gonna go right up here. Tapping into Indigo, not a lot. We're not seeing this big dark color. It's the tips of the bristles. We're going right here. And I'm just following that hairline, pushing up, swirling with a light touch. Look at how it just warms things up, but it also gives me structure. I've got structure, I've got balance, I've got the structure and dimension are the same thing, right? But it also is just so good. So while this is a little bit darker, I'm gonna take that small end, I'm gonna go into my brightening, and I'm gonna give myself the illusion of reflecting light. So this is giving me, again, I need to fix my brow. It's giving me coverage, but it's also giving the illusion of reflecting light. And then as I pull this up and out towards my contour, it gives me that balance. So I don't need to take that makeup I had down here to bring it up here. So you're using less product and only using what you need. It's essentially one layer of makeup. And we just blur the line between the two. It's so good. All right, we're gonna go in, and I let my brightening and my contour work together on my forehead and on my nose and on my lips. My T-zone. Okay, we're gonna go in on the side here. He's unloading the dishwasher, and he wants all of you to know, just in case you weren't aware. Okay, so we're gonna go down the side. I have a bump. Can you tell where it is? Right there. And I'm just gonna stamp on, and I like to focus the application to the sides and into that shadow that follows to the brow. I have a hair. And we're gonna stamp it, and we're gonna blend it so that when you're blending it, you're focusing it. That bump is killing me. You're focusing it on the side. So the base of this contour is on the side. But if you have a crooked nose or you have a bumpy nose, here's what we're going to do to camouflage that. We're going to focus those shadows on the shadows, but then we're going to bridge the color together and let it all work together. We're going to take that small end, tap into Sunlit, and we are going to go down the middle. Down the middle. We're going to take, I use my finger here. I just think the warmth of my finger just helps meld it together. And I like the way my nose looks when I let it work. This is what I like, okay? All right, and that's how I let my brightening and my contour work together. And then I just work with my blending till I'm happy, especially right here. Okay, we're gonna go in on that side again, stamping in. And then I'm gonna go just between, there's that hair that was in my eye. There we go. I'm gonna go between my natural shadow and the bottom of my cheekbone, not on top of my cheekbone, right here. And I'm just gonna pull up towards the top of my ear. Grabbing it again, we're gonna go to the top, come on, top of the ear. Boom, 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 boom. Right there, okay? Boom. Now I'm not using corrector, so you can see my hyperpigmentation. Hazel helped, Indigo doesn't. Indigo, I don't think is a good, if you have a lot of hyperpigmentation or freckling around your face, I probably will not recommend Indigo because it will pull those things through and can accentuate them if that's something you don't like. just a heads up about indigo. If you're thinking, well, if Amanda's wearing it, I can wear it. If you have freckles and they bother you, it's not a good fit. And message me. Message me. Okay. If at any point you want to try this, message me. Okay. I'm going to take that contour. Actually, I have a healer right here. I'm going to take a little bit of my hazel. I'm going to go over that zit. Ugh, zits. Okay, then I'm going to take my contour and I'm going to go right where that zit was, and I'm just going to add a shadow. Right there, right there. Okay, I'm going to grab some of that contour and I'm going to make a shadow right above. It's like outer lining. This is what people hope their outer lining makes it look like. You really just need a shadow. You don't need your lip liner going all around. And this is where I let things work together, taking my brightening, and I'm going to go right here. And I'm going to let my brightening work with my contouring. The light versus dark. This is going to create a pucker. And I'm just tap this with my finger just to blend things out. You could easily take a little contour and deepen this little thing. Look how pretty that is. Take a little bit of sunlit, hit those peaks, and let them work again together. This is a really beautiful area. You should accentuate it, okay? All right, now we're gonna take our blush. I'm gonna use my finger. This is Madrid. It's so, so pretty. And we're going to pop this on the higher points of the cheek. This is just such a nice pink with a bit of peach in it. It's like Frenchy, but with more pink to it. And it's so pretty. I'm even gonna take whatever's left on my finger and I'm gonna hit right here in the middle of my nose. People are loving that right now. I don't get it. And then we're gonna take this brush and I'm gonna blend it first to see if I wanna add more. If you're ever trying a new blush, start light and build. But look at how pretty and natural that is. Then you can add more to your brush. I'm gonna smile and I'm gonna bring this lightly down. This doesn't pull my scarring through the way other pinks will, so I'll mix them with Frenchy. But Madrid is like mixing, I would say Madrid is very similar to mixing maybe Hollywood and Frenchy. That's what I would say, maybe even a bit of pink grapefruit with Frenchy. But it's so, look at how pretty that is. It's just a nice, subtle, natural pink. Oops, I loaded it. And then we're gonna go in and I'm gonna smile, bring it down into that apple. And I like to fade it down and then up. And then we're gonna bring this up the temple. Tapping that bridge where I put that dot. People are loving that. I don't get it, but I did it. I did it. And it's not bad. I love it. And in the description is a list of the eyeshadows I'm using. They're so pretty. All right, boom, 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 did it. All right, now we're gonna do our lips. I am going to switch brushes. I know I'm sticking with this brush, but lips, come on. We can't line our lips with that brush. I'm going to take the multitasker brush. I'm going to go into Madrid and I'm going to fill them in first. This is how I like to do this. And it's a nice subtle light pink. So pretty. I'm going to take a little bit of indigo and we're going to line lightly, not a heavy hand. But don't pop off an outer line. Don't. Use this color and make it a shadow and then hardline it. But it's such a good lip liner. And her outlining here. Right there, grabbing a little bit more Madrid. I'm gonna fill that upper lip in more and blend indigo with Madrid. Isn't that a pretty color? I know. You could even take a little bit of sunlit and you pop it right in the middle here. And it gives you a little dimension and you know that thing. All right, I'm gonna take my setting spray. I'm gonna spray my face because I'm oily. Boom. All right, I'm gonna take this brush and again, in those places I'm oily, I'm gonna press it in with the brush. That's it. That's my face. That's the basics with the detail brush. It's just so good. And if you want to try it, message me. I'm not a high pressure artist. I'll send you a color match. I'll give you all the recommendations for you to start and build or start with a bang. It's whatever you want. It's your choice. It's your prerogative. It's not my business. And I'm just not a high pressure person. I like to hit you with one because I'm not going to come back in 2 weeks telling you you need more. That, again, not my business. I wouldn't like it, and so that's why I don't do it. So that's it. Have a good day.